Because of your continuous support, we strive for excellence with all our wraps, so we've been able to wrap, your average car to now wrapping cars like this. What's up, guys? This is Andrew at Diamond Graphics. We do a shitload of Teslas, so I wanted to show you how to do a chrome delete on some of the most difficult parts. We're kind of like a Tesla specialist just because we do so many of them, so I want to show you a couple like do's and don'ts. About this mirror section is one of the most complicated parts, as well as the back part of the trunk. So let me kind of show you how to disassemble this and then wrap it in probably a couple different pieces. All right, so this Tesla just got dropped off. We haven't done anything to it yet. The first thing I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna go inside the car and I'm gonna turn the auto folding mirror system off. So this way, if I close the door, the mirror doesn't automatically fold. Because once we start disassembling this, if you take it apart and the mechanism starts to close without it engaged, you break the mirror and you have to buy a new one. I have learned that the hard way. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just remove this chrome section. You wanna make sure not to bend it, but literally just pulls right off. So now you can see I have a little bit more access to the mirror. The second thing I'm gonna do is take the mirror cap off, which if you have a pry tool, any sort of pry tool like that, it just has a couple clips around the outside. You can start by pulling this side of the plastic out. So now we got a gap. And I'm going to take the pry tool and run it along the top. Just kidding, we'll run it along the back side of it. So now you can hear all the clips pop. It's got the last clip at the end. So you can see we actually didn't break any of the plastic tabs. So if you pull that incorrectly, they will kind of all snap off. So now you can see we have access to, this part of the mirror, this part of the mirror. It is possible to remove this entirely by taking the door panel off. There's a couple screws here. You can remove this glass and remove this mirror. I don't really think that's necessary for this, but it is an option. So the next thing we're gonna wanna do is there's 3 screws on the inside to take this cap off. And these are tiny little hex screws. So now that we got these 3 screws removed, there's a tab here and a tab here, which are simple, just very light pry tabs. So that one's off. I'm gonna get to the other side by going like this. Now that one's off. Voila. So you can see you have the 3 screws and the 2 tabs. Comes off relatively easy, no damage, anything like that. So the next part of this mirror, this is where it gets complicated. If you do it incorrectly, you can actually break the mirror, damage the turning mechanism, and then you gotta replace it. So again, I turned off the auto fold function. I'm gonna fold the mirror all the way in. And basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn it this way while prying up. I kinda pretend like I'm snapping a neck or something. So I'm prying up, going all the way. Now you can see the mirror is disassembled. Now this is as far as we're going to disassemble for a chrome delete. But if you need to go further, you can remove some wires, remove some screws. But for what we're doing here today, this is sufficient. So the first step to this mirror, as you can see, the car is super clean, but when we took the mirror off, how much dirt is under it. So the first thing is I'm just gonna do a wipe down of literally the whole surface, get as much of dust out as I can. So for this mirror, it's gonna be done in multiple sections. The first section I'm gonna do is this underside, followed by this side, and then the top. So it's gonna be about 3 pieces. I wanna use a lot of masking tape. Because this is a tricky area, I don't want the vinyl to be sticking and ripping and then have to redo it. The masking tape will also hold down any dust here, that can be trapped in the window and get under the wrap. So again, I'm gonna extra clean this first section and then lay my first piece of vinyl. So as you can see, now this piece is completely wrapped. We started with the bottom, we did the side, then we did knifeless along here with some overlays. But as you can see, we now have 100% coverage of this mirror. I still suggest that people turn their auto mirror function off, because although you can still move this back and forth, you now created, less space by having that vinyl there, and over time it might start to rip it up. But that's customer's choice. I just automatically turn it off and let them know. But that's how you wrap, to me, what I would consider the hardest part of the mirror for this Tesla. So as a self-proclaimed Tesla expert, in my opinion, the second hardest piece of chrome on the Tesla is this rear trunk piece right here. It's got a couple different areas which make it difficult. First off are these three corners. So the trick to get away with that is what we've done is we've placed the inlays there first. So now we can wrap over, make some cuts, goes in there, no big deal. The second part is this raised Tesla. You can actually remove this, take out the lights. It's two pieces. It takes a couple hours, maybe less, but that's a lot of work. So instead, we're gonna put some film and we're gonna hand cut around each letter and then tuck around it. So I'm gonna show you that method, because that's a safer way if you don't wanna try to disassemble everything on your trunk. So we've got satin black, since we're doing a satin black chrome delete. I'm gonna just place it over the piece of chrome lightly, and instead of squeegeeing or tucking it everywhere, I'm gonna start on the hardest part, which is trimming these letters. Because if I screw it up, I wanna screw it up in the beginning versus having everything else done and then screwing it up. What's up guys, this is Andrew at Diamond Graphics. Just wanted to show you the finished product of this Tesla Chrome Delete. So we were just trying to highlight some of the difficult areas of the Chrome Delete for this Tesla Model S. So here's kind of the results. I'll kind of walk you around the car and take a look at it. As you can see, this mirror, now that it's done, it's completely covered by every angle. So you can see we have full coverage on the mirror. The door handles as well. The only part we don't cover is behind the door handle where your fingers go, but that's because we're not actually removing them. We're wrapping them while they're on the car. You can see this is now blacked out. We have the chrome all the way around the window. We have the side markers here as well. So the one thing for these side markers, if this is something you're trying at home, on the newer models, if you actually remove these and the car turns on and cycles through, you might have to take it back to the dealership to restart the sensors because they're programmed for the autopilot or however it works. Basically, if you're doing this at home, I would recommend just leaving them in. You can still get full coverage while they're still inside your fender. Here on the trunk, we fully wrapped this. The customer actually requested that we remove this piece of chrome and paint the letters, so we went ahead and did an extra step. We actually removed this whole thing, painted the letters, wrapped this, and then reapplied it. So those are some of your main areas for a Tesla. If you're doing a chrome delete, that can be really challenging, but the overall result looks pretty good. So if you found this interesting, feel free to subscribe or something, and we appreciate it.